Alright, so we're back with part 2 of my Prezi tutorial for my students at Rhode Island College. I showed you the first Prezi, how to use cool text a little bit. I also showed you how to insert frames into your Prezi. I also showed you how to put a background picture into your Prezi. What I want to kind of focus on in this video is more how to use the animations and also how to put videos in your Prezi. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to make another frame, so it's already preset to invisible frame, so I'm going to grab that, I'm going to drag it, I'm going to drop it wherever I want my next frame to be. So let's say it's right there. Okay, actually I'll move it over a little bit so it's on the background picture. To work with this specific frame, I'm going to zoom to my frame, and now let's say that I want to add a video, okay, and I can add a title similar to before. If I, go through the cool text, I'm not going to do that again. I could type on this slide. I could, put bullets in. I could change the color of my font. All of those things can happen. But for now, like I said, let's just focus on the video aspect of it. So it's kind of difficult to see. I'm going to click on the outside so I know where I'm working here. And then what I want to do is I want to insert a YouTube video. So I'm going to open up another tab in my web browser. I'll go to YouTube. Here we go, and now, because we're doing Despicable Me, let's say, Despicable Me 2, I don't know, and I'll get a video. So, I don't want super long videos, maybe I want the pic of Margot, or the video of Margot in Love, I want the clip. So I'll click on it.
Alright, it's a little bonus.
It'll give me this ad here, I'm not really concerned with that. So here's my video, it's running. Alright. Let's say that I want this video. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to click on the URL, and then I'm going to right click it, and I'm going to copy the URL. And I'm just going to leave it like that, copied. And then I'm going to go back to my Prezi, and what I can do is on this insert tab, I can see YouTube video, so I'll click that, and it'll ask me to paste the YouTube link. So I've already got it copied, I'm going to right click, and then I can paste the link that I just took down, right? You can see all the weird letters and numbers about YouTube. So I'm going to insert it. And there's my video. So now this works one of two ways. When I present, I can either be presenting from wherever I'm at in the room, and then I'd have to come over and I can click on the video during my Prezi, and that will give me the ability to play the movie. Or what I can also do is I can add this as its own frame. So right now, this video is inside of this frame. It'll show up on frame 3. But if I go to edit path, kind of a cool feature is if I can put another path point here. You'll notice it. You'll notice it comes up here. Now let's pretend. Let's turn off edit path. And now let's pretend I'm presenting. Okay. I can look down here and I can go back to the beginning of my presentation. And everything shows up because we haven't done animations yet. I'll click forward. Takes me to slide 2. I click forward again, it'll now take me to slide 3, and this is where I said I could hit play, right? If I was at my keyboard or whatever when I'm presenting and I didn't want it to just play on its own, I can play it from here. And this is how it would appear in class. Okay? But let's say that I don't want it to play. I want it to play on its own, excuse me. I'll go to the next slide, and it plays on its own. So right now I'm at slide 3. It's not playing. If I wanted it to play, I'd have to hit the play button. If I wanted to play on its own, I could go to slide 4 though, and it plays on its own. Okay? Cool. So now, I'll pause it. Let's hit escape. That'll take us out to our editor again. Let's say that I want to go to my home screen. So I'll click on the home. Takes me out there. Now let's say that I don't want things to show up. Like, I don't want my visual to look something like this. I don't want my viewer to know they're going here or to know they're going there. I want it to be blank, just a picture of vector from the beginning. I'll hit escape and go back to my editor. Alright, now I'm going to go to my first slide. So I'll click over here to 2. When I click edit path down here, you'll notice that there's a star, similar to PowerPoint's animation feature, that shows up. I'm going to click that. Okay? Now I'm in edit mode. and I can apply effects or fade in effects specifically to this stuff. So let's say that I want the picture to show up first. I'm going to drag my mouse over it, and you'll notice there's kind of this green number 1 over here. Alright? When I click the picture, that gives me my fade in. Now, let's say I want the word grew to fade in next. I'll click on that. And now I want my words to fade in last. I'll click that. And to make sure that I did it correctly, they have a preview button here. So if I hit the play, it should fade in the order of picture, grew, text. Picture, grew, text. Right. If I mess that up in some way, then I can always change it up, and I can just preview and kind of check out back and forth how I'm doing. Let's say that I wanted to not let the text come in. I just wanted it to be there. I didn't want it to fade in. I can remove the effect, hit play, and now you'll notice I get kind of a weird effect that doesn't really look right, so I'm going to put it back on, but you get the idea. The other thing that fade in does, which is nice, is I'll click done for now, and then I'm going to get out of my edit path. I can click done for that as well, so I don't want to move things around. Then I'm going to go home. When I present, now grew won't show up on my home screen, so the viewer won't know they're going there. See? So now, even though he's not there, that's still step 2, because that's step 2 in our path. So I'm going to push the right arrow, or I could click on it down here, either way, but I'll push the right arrow, and that will take me to a blank spot. When I push it again, now I start to fade in. Push it again, I fade in again, and then obviously one more time when I push the right arrow. Then I would just continue on my regular path. I go to number 3. If I want it to play on its own, then I need to go to number 4, and there you go. I'll pause this for now. Back to home. There you go. Now let's say I want to switch the order. Let's say I want to go to the video before I go to group. I can come over here and I can move them. So if I left click on number 3, I can drag and drop it above number 2, and now it would change my order. I want to drag and drop number 4 as well. There you go. So now when I present, it'll go in a different order. There's my vector. I click to the right. It'll bring me to home screen. Now it goes reverse order. There's 3. There's what was used to be 4. And then it brings me back over here to 2. So I can change the order of things by bouncing around my frames over here. And again, if I want to go back to home, click home. And there it is. So now, I could also be creative with this. If I went to grew, I could put a frame in this picture if I wanted to zoom in further, and then zoom in, and just for the sake of time, so dreamy, because we know that that's true. So I'll click that, and I'll put that there. So let's pretend now that's number 3, or frame 3. Back to home. To give you an idea of the effect, when I hit present, or present, I go to number 2, and you can see the words because I haven't faded it in, which kind of sucks, but my fade in effect works, and now I want to zoom into my other frame, I hit it again, there you go. So I can zoom in to pictures that I put in, and again, that's one of the reasons why we put a big picture to start, so that we can zoom really far in if we so choose. So, there you go. If I wanted to delete a frame, I could always delete it here, but notice how it doesn't delete from the actual picture. I would have to delete it on the actual picture too. So that's some different effects. I'm just trying to think of other things that you might want to do. Oh yeah, also, kind of a cool visual effect is if I have a screen here, and I won't want to do this too often because it can make people kind of seasick and feel kind of awkward. But if I wanted to do a flipperoo type of thing, like let's say I want to put my frame upside down, which looks kind of odd right now, but when I present, the Prezi will actually flipperoo, and it will flip me to this upside down frame so that it's right side up when the viewer looks at it. So if I hit present, do it one more time, here's my home screen. When I hit right, the picture should spin around. So I'm going to click the right, let's say click the right arrow this time. There it is. My Prezi spins and gives you this upside down effect. And now it should write itself up when I go to the next set of slides. There it is. So it kind of gives you this weird flip-de-loo type of thing. I usually don't use that too much, but if it enhances my Prezi, I could definitely use that as well. Other things, music. If I hit insert here, I can also add background music. So if I want to add background music, I would have to either have it saved to my desktop, or I could go into iTunes and mess with that. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes it inhibits the audience's ability to hear you speak, depending on how loud you have the music playing. So that's something that you can play with on your own time. But again, you would go to insert. You could go in there. You could also insert symbols and shapes. I don't do this too often. I like to just use pictures, but you could mess with that option as well if you'd like. One thing I do is customize my theme. So when you customize theme, basically what this does is it changes your font. It also changes the color of your font naturally. So here's this. I'm going to slide down, and then I'm going to go to advanced. It's not really that advanced. It allows me to change my fonts and things of that nature. So I'm going to change my fonts flat out. They give me some default fonts. I can't really change it on Prezi per se. These are the fonts I kind of have to run with. So I'm going to change to a couple of different fonts just so I can pick and choose when I type. I'm also going to click Wizard. That gives me a chance to change my actual background color. So the picture behind vector, let's say we want it to be purple. That's fine. I hit next. This is my font 1, font 2, font 3 that I just selected. Let's say that I want them all to be blue. I don't know. I can click on that color, and that's just my default of what will show up. I usually don't mess with this too much. I don't find this option to be very well situated, so we're just going to keep going. Notice how the background now is purple behind vector, right? And notice how when I click now on any space, the font automatically starts as blue. I can make it bigger or smaller by clicking on these letters. Show you a little better. Right now you can't really see the blue all that well, so I probably would change this. I can also click on one of these other font types to change the font type. And then if I'm not happy with the color, I can also always go to this. There you go. I can italicize. I can click on this to put a background in. I can't really choose the background color. Prezi does that for me. I can click on this to make bullets. And I can change the alignment here. Center of my frame, right side of my frame, etc. Alright, so I think that should be enough to get you started. I'd like you to use your creativity when you make your Prezis to the best of your ability. Make them interesting for people to look at. The best way to really go about this is to play and mess around. There are a couple of other videos that really help with Prezi construction. One of which is a way that you can see kind of what you can do with Prezi. It's called the best Prezi video ever. And I'll try to add a link to the YouTube video if I can, so you can click on it and check that out. It's about like 5 minutes long. It must be from a professional computer designer because it's really cool. But they show you all the different effects of Prezi in one kind of YouTube video. I don't know how to do most of it, but something maybe you could figure out if you'd like to, if you're really into this. Secondly, the TED Talk done by Bono relating to hunger and starvation and basically strides that we've made in that area, and specifically Africa. His TED Talk, Bono being the lead singer of U2, that also is a Prezi platform. He uses Prezi to present that, so you can see some of the kind of cool effects that you could use there as well, because again, a professional seems to have done that. So hopefully you find this helpful. If you have any further questions or things that you'd like to do with Prezi that maybe I didn't go over, or maybe we can collaboratively work together and figure out together, that'd be cool. Just speak to me in class and we'll see what we can do. Alright, so hopefully this is helpful with your projects. I look forward to seeing them at the end of the semester, and I will see you in class. So have a good night, have a good weekend, whatever it is, and talk to you later.